Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hi, if you're new. Today we're going to be doing something kind of random. I got like really nostalgic today because I guess it's December and I was thinking about everything that had happened to me this year and everything that I had gone through, and I was just like, wow. And I thought about like where I live, and I live in Los Angeles and I've lived here for about 2 years. There's a lot of things that I didn't expect when I first moved here, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely love living in Los Angeles and I would never ever move back to originally where I'm from, which is Texas. But there are a lot of things that I didn't expect, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to make a video about this, I guess, because I know a lot of people who are curious about living in Los Angeles, wonder things sometimes, and you know, people who don't want to move to LA but wonder what it's like to live in LA. I thought this might be a cool video for you guys to, I guess, watch. But some of the things that I'm going to talk about may not be a big shock to some people because I'm originally from a small town in Texas and the closest major city was 3.5 to 4 hours away. So growing up, I was kind of never around the city life, and then on top of that, whenever I went to college, I didn't really go to college in a city. I went to college 30 minutes outside of a city, so I still got to experience Dallas. That was the city that was closest by, but I didn't really live in Dallas, if that makes any sense. So yeah, some of the things on this list might be like, what? You didn't know that? But hey man, if you're from the country, you're from the country. And I'm gonna try not to make this video really long, but it's kind of a long list of things, and I tend to rant a lot, so I'm sorry if this video comes out long. Let's go ahead and get into the 10 things I didn't expect about living in Los Angeles list. The first thing I'm gonna say is parking garages. Okay, I'm so used to living in Texas that if you wanna go to a store, let's say you wanna go to Target, you get in your car, you drive to Target, you park in the parking lot, and then you go inside the store. No, that's not what you do in LA. In LA, if you live inner city, you have to park in a parking garage most of the time to do any type of shopping. And on top of that, you have to pay for the parking. I don't understand, but... And people are ruthless here when it comes to finding parking spots because it's just so overpopulated, I guess. So yeah, I had to get used to parking in parking garages to shop, and on top of that, paying to park. That was kind of weird to me when I first moved here. Oh yeah, if you're thinking about moving to LA and getting, you know, a really cute apartment, one that has brick or one that has wood floors or just something that kind of looks really fun and vintage, it's not going to come with an air conditioner. For some reason in California, that's just not a thing. They don't do air conditioners. All of the buildings are really old, and it's just not a thing unless you live in a modern apartment or a newer built apartment. But I'm so used to living in Texas where you will die if you don't have an air conditioner. It's like, I don't know. So whenever I came here, I was like, oh my God, I am going to die if I don't get an air conditioner. So if you're moving to LA, I definitely recommend getting a window unit or a stand-up unit because it gets hot in the summer. Another weird thing, this is not legal, so I don't recommend that anyone does this or say that I told you to do it or say that it was totally okay to do, because I didn't say this. I'm just telling you what I have observed in California. Driving in California, or Los Angeles to be more specific, running red lights is considerably normal. Now, granted, I'm not the best driver out there, but when I first moved here and I started driving around the city, if, you know, the light was turning red and there was a car in front of you and they went on red, the car behind you ended up honking because you didn't go on red. And it's crazy to me because in Texas, if you run a red light, you get a really expensive ticket. So when I first moved here, I was like, why are people running red lights? Is this okay? Where are the police? Am I gonna get a ticket? Are there cameras? But surprisingly enough, there's actually not a lot of cameras on stoplights here in California. I feel like the police are more worried about crime than they are traffic violations, if that makes sense. So I had to get used to running red lights because, I don't know, there's just too many people in LA, and sometimes you gotta run a red light. It's just a normal thing here. Okay, so this next one I feel like everyone talks about, but I'm just gonna kind of break it down for you a little bit. In Texas is a really large state. It's the second largest state in the country of the United States. So you have a lot of distance driving, whereas 30 miles can take up to 30 to 40 minutes. In traffic, that's a solid hour. In LA, 3 miles can be 30 minutes to an hour sometimes because of how many people there are in a area. It's insane to me how that is. Like, whenever I first moved here, I didn't really calculate things out in my head whenever I started driving. I'd be like, oh yeah, it's like five minutes away, whatever. No, you need to leave your house like 30 minutes to an hour prior sometimes during rush hour. So yeah, traffic is insane here and I was definitely not used to it. Okay, this next one, long lines. Okay, this is outrageous. Like, LA is so like the touristy place to come to, I think, in America, and whenever you come here, you want to do cool things like go to Disney, you want to go to Universal Studios, you want to go to the museums, you want to do this, you want to do that, which is great. I love doing all of those things, but if you are going to do those things, I recommend getting a Flash Pass or a VIP Pass or whatever it is that allows you to skip the line. I recently learned this, actually I learned this year because I went to do something on Halloween and I was like, I am never not getting a skip the line pass ever again, because you will sit there in line for an hour and a half to 2 hours for one ride. Like, I'm from Texas and I feel like the lines can get pretty bad, like from 45 minutes to an hour. That's like normal, I think, for any amusement park during a busy time of the year. However, with LA, just throw an additional hour on that because there's so many people here. And I'm totally not trying to like make LA sound bad, because it's totally not bad. I love living here. I would never move back to Texas, only if I had to, but yeah, no, LA's great. It's just that there's so many people that there are downsides to there being so many people, I guess. So hopefully I'm not making LA sound bad, but I'm pretty sure this may not be an LA thing, but I just experienced it in LA, and I don't know. If you're from LA and you're watching this, you tell me. I have no idea, but I feel like in Texas there's this thing called Southern hospitality, and we're just more polite towards other people. I don't know, we're a little traditional in a sense. If you guys just heard my dog, I'm so sorry. But I guess we're just like a little bit more traditional, and I don't know, I feel like we have manners there. In LA, people don't really have that mentality here, unfortunately. And I learned that whenever I first got here in 2015, I went to my first music show ever, and it was City and Color, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, I've never seen him live, this is gonna be amazing. And I recently actually posted a picture of this on my Instagram, but man, whenever I was there, I realized, I was like, this is not as intimate as it would be in Texas, because the venue was so huge. And I mean, Texas has really big venues, but I feel like most of the shows that I used to go to in Texas, it was more intimate and there wasn't as many people there. And I don't know. Anyway, so while I was watching City and Color perform, Dallas, the lead singer of City and Color, was performing all of his new stuff off of his album, and I honestly hadn't listened to the new album, which is totally fine because I like hearing music live before I hear it, I guess, like on Spotify or a record or whatever. I just like to experience things that way. And anyway, he had just got done performing one of his newest songs, and I'm sure he was excited about, because whenever you're an artist and you create something new, you want to see how crowds are reacting to it. You want to feel that energy. But anyway, whenever it was quiet, he just got done playing, someone from the crowd was like, play whatever song he shouted out. I don't remember, it's 2 years ago, but he shouted something out, and Dallas was kind of like, I'll get to it, man. Like, I'm playing all of my new stuff, and you could kind of just tell that he was bothered by it. And I just found that to be so rude. Like, in Texas, I used to only go to shows. Like, music shows were my thing. That's how I met my friends. That's how I socialized. That's that's just like what I like to do. Music is a huge part of me, and I love music. So whenever I realized that, one, going to music shows in LA was never going to be as intimate as it is in Texas, and people are rude as hell and they don't really respect artists, I guess, as much as I thought that they would, since it's LA. I don't know, I just realized that people are very, very different here. They have a different mentality than where I'm from. So that's that. Another thing in regards to people, scammers. They're out there. I mean, they're out there in every city, but here they're low-key, they're high-key. You wouldn't even recognize sometimes how scammy they can be. Story time. So like, one day I was in Topshop, I was just minding my own business, doing some shopping with a friend, and I'm like looking at something on a wall, and all of a sudden this man is like, hey, comes up to me in the store. And I turn around, and for some reason I found him to look funny to me. Not his physical appearance, but just how he was dressed. He was really, really tall, older man. He was like maybe 6'4", and probably in his late 60s, early 70s, and he was wearing like these gold aviators, and he had a gold chain on, and he was Caucasian. And I don't remember if I feel like he was wearing some kind of like printed shorts. I'm not sure. But anyway, I just thought his fit was really funny on him. He starts talking to me and he's like, hey, what you're looking at is really nice. He's like, do you want that? And I was like, I'm just looking at it right now. Like, I'm just looking at it. And he's like, well, I can buy it for you. And I'm like, okay, like what? Like what? Who are you? Why are you saying you're gonna buy this for me? Like, I'm so confused, like what? And I'm like, oh, it's okay, you're fine, thank you. Because in my head I'm thinking like, what is he, like, you're crazy, like it's okay, I don't need you to buy me this. I have my own money. But so then he starts talking to me and he's introducing himself, and I'm literally like in my head like, I'm just trying to shop, man. I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know what's happening. And he eventually tells me that he's a director of movies. He's worked with this celebrity, he's worked with this director, he's worked with this person, and he's like going on about himself. And you know, it was kind of believable because he had this like, I don't know, fear and loathing kind of vibe. It was weird. Maybe he was from Vegas, who knows. So he gives me his business card, and I thought that was it. I thought the conversation was done. I thought it was like over. I was like, okay, I'm gonna continue shopping, whatever. And at this point, my friend kind of came closer to us to see like who I was talking to and why I was talking to this man. And she was kind of just like staying towards the edge of a table, not really like letting him know that she was near. And eventually he like ends up asking me to go to a party with him later that night. He was like, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Will you please come to this party with me? It'd be so awesome to be seen with you. And like, all this stuff, and I'm like, yo, no, I'm not going to the party. Like, no thanks, see you later, like, have a nice day. And then all of a sudden, you guys, this man grabs me and tries to take me out of the store. And then my friend kind of jumps in front of us, and she's like, where are you going? What are you doing? Who is this? Hi. And the guy is like, kind of like, what's going on? Who is this? And I'm like, help me. So she grabbed me, and then the man kind of walked away, and she was like, are you okay? And she was more concerned about me than what he was doing. And after we kind of collected ourselves, we looked around and the man had disappeared. And so it was weird. It was really weird. He was a scammer kind of thing. But there are scammers everywhere, so just be mindful of where you're at in LA, because they'll get ya. That's not the first time that's happened to me in LA either. And I feel like I'm almost abducted a lot in LA. It's kind of nuts. But anyway, moving on. This one is also about people. Instead of people just being like, hey, how are you? I'm so-and-so. Where are you from? Da-da-da-da, you know, getting to know you kind of conversation questions. Here it's like, hey, what's your name? What do you do for a living? How much money do you make in a year? And it's like, why am I being interviewed right now? I'm so confused as to what? What? Who? What? Why? That's the thing though. I feel like if somebody comes up to you in LA and they're asking you all those questions and stuff like that, you can kind of tell that they're not a genuine person and they're kind of checking your status to see what you're about. And I mean, it's not bad. That's just like the mentality of LA. It's just different than what I'm used to. I feel like if a person is genuinely interested in you, they'll want to know more information about you rather than what you do and what you can do for them. So yeah, I just really had to get used to that when moving here, because that's the thing. Right after people figure out your name, they're like, what do you do? Instead of, how are you? So. Number 9 is LA is vegan friendly AF. Like, you can go pretty much anywhere in LA, any neighborhood, and there's gonna be something suitable for vegans, which is absolutely amazing. I actually went vegan whenever I moved to LA, and it wasn't very hard for me because the food is so delicious here. And then I just kind of started educating myself about veganism and stuff like that. So yeah, if you are a vegan and you're thinking about moving to LA, this is the place for you. They have so many vegan restaurants and it's just like super bomb to eat here, so yeah. And then last but not least on my list, my favorite thing about LA is it's, ew, did you just burp? Anyway, pretty much anywhere you go, like a restaurant or if you're just like shopping somewhere, there's always going to be a dog. LA is so dog friendly, and I love that because of this guy here. This is Salem. Hi Salem. Hi. And so whenever you just take your dog out, there's like water bowls and stuff, and it's just like super friendly. And I say kind of because you obviously don't want to take your dog in a grocery store or anything like that. But I mean, I'm from Texas and dogs are not allowed anywhere. Like, you leave your dog at home. Like, it's not normal for you to take your dog into CVS or take your dog out to eat or whatever. But here it's definitely normal. And I love that because I get to spend more time with Salem. But yeah, that was pretty much all of my list, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Salem and I would really like that. So, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, and we're gonna probably get some good food and go to bed because it's like really late. So, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.